And there we go. This is the kind of payout we're looking for. The golden diamonds have arrived with our picture. We got crazy scaling. Check that out. What's up, YouTube? So we have actually reloaded the game multiple times until we got to a charm shop that I think that a newer player could access. And this is a good example of the kind of charm shop that you'll want to see if you want to do well in this game. So what we're going to do here is start off with Shiny Rock. Shiny Rock and Hamsa have a great synergy here, which we're going to explore for you. This is one of those synergies that you would love to see in your games. So we're going to start with Shiny Rock, and then we're going to pull for 2 tickets. When you hit to the slot machine over here, you can do 3 spins plus 2 tickets, or you can do 7 spins plus 1 ticket. In some situations, you're going to want to do one, and in some situations, you're going to want to do the other. Basically, if you have modified charms that will modify the symbols in the slot machine, you'll want to do 7 spins so that you have a better chance to actually hit those. If you don't, you might as well get the tickets, right? Especially if you have something like Hamsa sitting in the shop. So we're going to save the button until the last spin here, because sometimes the slot machine sparks on the 3rd pull. We'll find out shortly. It did not. That's okay, we're going to spark on the next pull here, and we're going to head back to the slot machine and get Hamsa. If you're wondering what sparks do, sparks give you luck. The slot machine has an organic luck generator. Because we have Lucky Button and Hamsa, we're not really afraid about scoring, so this might be a spark here, it could be the next one. Usually on the 5th, sometimes on the 6th, you'll get a spark. There's the 5th. And the sparks give you luck, as you can see from these cherries we just got. Now we're going to press this red button and sync it up with Hamsa, which triggers on the last spin of a round. So we have the 4 luck from the Shiny Rock, and we have the 7 luck from the rotated Hamsa. Now what does that do? Well, that's going to give us 11 luck, and what luck does is it selects a symbol based on the board here, and then it combines the luck and gives you that many of those symbols. So it's going to be 11 symbols of something that it chooses based on your manifestation chances. So let's see what it gives us. So it gave us 11 cherries. So that's not exactly the symbol that we would hope to see, but we'll take it. So we got 45 coins. What do we do with that? We have 2 tickets and we have 45 coins. Well, obviously 45 is enough to get through the round, so we don't need to worry about that. So the thing that we probably want to do here is get Ancient Coin. Ancient Coin is a perfect synergy with Hamsa here. We'll grab the Ancient Coin, and we can consider getting this Iron as well for ticket generation if we so desire. But because a newer player probably wouldn't have access to that, we're going to skip for the time being and go for these golden diamonds instead, because that's going to be more realistic to the kind of game that you would be playing. So we'll come in, and once again we're going to do 3 spins. So now we have 2 things that are triggered by the button, and the Ancient Coin is more important to sync with Hamsa. However, we're still pressing the button on the last spin. Ancient Coin will give us an extra spin. You can unlock Ancient Coin by triggering the fake coin 100 times. It's not hard to get. You just buy the fake coin every time you see it, and eventually you'll have Ancient Coin. You're going to want to do that because this synergy is incredible. And Red Shiny Rock will also sync with one of the Hamsas. So we actually have 2 activations of Hamsa here. So you'll see how this works momentarily. So now on the last spin, we press this button. Lucky Coin and Ancient Coin go off. Hamsa triggers and syncs with the red button, and we get that. And then Hamsa syncs with the Ancient Coin, and we get 14 luck, and it shows 7. So we are rich, my friends. We are rich. This is an example of something that's actually not difficult to unlock in your CLOVERPIT runs that will get you pretty amazing results. So you'll want to keep your eyes open for Ancient Coin and Hamsa. That synergy is incredible. So we're just going to go ahead and grab this golden diamond, and then we'll refresh here. Tragedy. You have no idea how badly I want this. But we have so much cash that there's no harm in re-rolling a couple times. And Tarot Card is interesting here too, because Lucky Charms will trigger during a spin, and that will raise the symbols multiplier bonus. So we're going to go for Tarot Card here. So Tarot Card is part of your base charm set, so this will be something that you will have access to, at least these 3, and that would work pretty well for you. So we'll move on to the next deadline and see what's in store for us once we get there. So in your runs, if you make enough coins, you may be faced with an option for a deal. Now what this deal does is it skips the entire deadline, and it gives you memory cards. I don't want to skip the entire deadline because I want to go as far as I can on this run, so I'm going to say no. But if you want memory packs, go ahead and answer yes to that, just keeping in mind that it's going to cost you the opportunity to score and all of that. So we're faced with the option of a phone call here. Now this is the kind of build that can score jackpots, but I need tickets, so we're just going to take the tickets here. Something good to do in your runs is look for scaling options. This would give us 2 sources of scaling. Now you will open up this card after completing 2 of your drawers. Once you get the key to open the drawer, you'll need to do that 2 times and then you get this card. It's not super rare, so we're going to buy both of these. And this will be a source of scaling that will be available to you fairly quickly. Certainly the diamonds are available right off the bat. We have enough. We're going to deposit some here, but this is very important. You don't want to go on because we have 2 sources of scaling, right? So we want to actually play out our hands here. Now, because we have these diamonds, we're incentivized to go 7s, and because we have the card as well. So we're just going to go ahead and go for 7 spins here. Now, there's not much to do except get to the end of this round where the HAMSA, coin, and shiny rock will be doing a lot of work. But sometimes you might get a random score in the middle that could actually do something for you. The luck from the spark is building up, but it didn't really pay out. But here we go. This is where we actually see some good yields. Okay, and then one more. With the spark, this will be a jackpot of bells. And this is why this combination of charms is kind of amazing. And now, in order to see the growth, you can see that our lemons and cherries have grown twice because of the card. And we have 6 symbols multiplier because of the tarot deck. That's where all of our scoring is coming from at the moment. So we'll just go roll the shop and see what comes. This golden treasure is really good. It comes with 2 and 8 symbols multiplier. This is the kind of thing that you'll want to buy in your runs for sure. So what we're going to do is actually pull a 3 spin here. Give it the old 1, 2... and then we'll just do the same thing again. Good enough to activate the card. And it's another set of bells. The game really wants me to have bells right now, I guess. Really what we're getting out of this in the short term is gold to roll the shop, and we're getting our lemons and cherries scaled up, which is totally fine. So here, we don't really need the coins, so we'll just go for tickets again because we're really ticket poor. We hit a golden diamond. That's our first scaling there. So our symbols board is starting to look pretty compelling. We got a lot of lemons. Good enough for the card to activate. And we got a lot more lemons. This is going to be a pretty big payout. And just like that, we're sitting very cozy with 14 on the lemons and cherries, which are our most common symbol, and 10 on the diamonds. We're just going to grab this chest so that we can start growing multiple symbols at once, which keeps you very safe in the early game before you have any kind of manifest. Not that we're necessarily ever going to buy manifest. We'll see how it goes. And the reason we might not buy manifest is because luck and manifest have something of a tension together, right? Luck randomly selects a symbol, so it could pick one of these clovers or bells, as it has done multiple times. Even if we get our manifest up to like 70 here, it still might pick a bell and give us basically no payout. So there are going to be times when you may not actually want to have manifest if you have luck. This is a fairly boring shop for us. Doesn't do a lot. However, super capacitor is pretty good. Let's see what the phone offers. So having the chance to manifest clovers and bells permanently is pretty nice, because of the situation that we have here where they haven't been scaled whatsoever. So we'll probably just go ahead and do that. Something we're considering here is if we want this super capacitor, what kind of thing would we want to charge with it? I guess it doesn't matter because you probably won't have super capacitor unlocked, right? Unlockable by recharging a total of 200 charges. It's actually not hard to unlock, especially if you're using combinations of items like this, where you have 2 that recharge every round. Super capacitor is not hard to get. In either case, I think we just keep looking. What is required to unlock cross? Unlockable by effectively using the red button 100 times. Okay, that's pretty easy to get. Well, guys, we've got the cross, and cross is actually a really good charm. You just have to know how to use it. So we're going to go into cross here. You can unlock the cross by using the red button 100 times. Not too hard to do. You'll probably get it somewhat early in your CLOVERPIT experience. So we're going to go for cross here. This core build will be more than good enough to get you your first key. Even your second key, I think this will probably do it by itself. But we're going to continue on. You know, maybe you're getting to your 3rd key and you might want to go for cross here. So we're going to do another 2 spin. Once again, we do the same thing. We get a bunch of lemons. That's going to pay pretty well. Okay, and here's a jackpot of lemons. The money's going to be through the roof. And just like that, we're in a situation where we don't have a lot to worry about. What charm would we replace? Well, it's going to be the diamond. We'll grab the cross here and begin scaling the cross. Now, what we would like to find in the meantime is a nuclear button. So believe it or not, we're going to spend all of our cash looking for a nuclear button here. This is actually something that we'll stop for as well. We'll go ahead. Something that's really nice to do in CLOVERPIT is actually fish for the charm that you want to buy so that you know you have it before you go spend your spins on tickets. So once again, even though we're doing these 2-ticket pulls, we have more than enough money to continue on. And now we're ticket rich. That's interesting. An obsessive golden diamond is very interesting. I think our lemons and cherries have been scaled enough. Go ahead and grab this obsessive golden diamond. And a diamond picture. Now that we have an obsessive golden diamond, we have some compelling reasons to go all in on diamonds. This could be a situation where we're going to buy this. There's a self-synergy here. This is the reason why an obsessive golden is so good, because the last pattern triggers one more time, but the last pattern will also potentially include golden modifier, meaning the golden will trigger an extra time, meaning you'll get this benefit twice. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to do another 3-spin here so that we can get that picture of a diamond. So because there was a spark on the slot machine, this one's a jackpot. Lemons are not too exciting, but that's okay. We'll take the money. And this one's also almost a jackpot. It's 14 luck, so it's going to pick a symbol. We don't really care for 7s here. Lemons would have been better. So we're going to get this diamond picture. Question is, what goes away? And unfortunately, the answer is probably the tarot deck, because we have Avid on the golden treasure. So we're just going to keep rolling for the time being, even though we have no spins left. There's a chance that there could be something that appears that's actually worth taking. Pentacle is worth taking. How do we get it? So here we're going to go tunnel vision on diamonds. Even though this is our symbols multiplier, we're still going to do it. Because Pentacle will provide symbols multiplier. Every time 5 patterns trigger, you'll get 1 symbols multiplier. Well, we're going to be getting a lot of 5 patterns from these 3. So we don't need the Avid on the treasure chest anymore, and we move on. So once again, we have more than enough to complete the deadline, but we're going to say no to the deal and just put the coins in manually. Something else that you'll want to do in your runs when you're overcapping like this is just leave the interest in the tray, because it protects you against 666. Let's see what the phone has. You're always going to want to take charm space in your runs. There's multiple reasons for this. One of the most important reasons is if you've never taken charm space, it's going to unlock property certificate. That's the only way to unlock this, and that gives you access to more charms. Once you use property certificate, you're going to unlock cardboard house. So taking that charm space will give you access to all 3 of the charm space options, and so it's very important to get it as quickly as possible. Now we're not stressing about our inventory. We can take another item, and I think we're going to take super capacitor here. So we're going to go do 2 pulls. So even though we have this picture of a diamond, we're still going to wait to the last pull just because of how our build works. It's so important for us to sync these together that we're going to wait. There's not a lot of scoring going on in the early stages of this anyway, so we'll just go ahead and slam here. And there we go. This is the kind of payout we're looking for. The golden diamonds have arrived with our picture. We got crazy scaling. Check that out. Off of a single pull from 0 scaling, meaning that the base was 5. Now our diamonds are worth 90. And maybe it will happen again here, and it does. And we got a pentacle trigger there 2 times in a row. So now what are our diamonds at? 115 with 4 symbols multi. We'll do another 2 pull and we'll get that capacitor. Another 2 ticket pull, that is. Anything that happens in the first 2 spins is just benefit. It's just extra. And we still got the pentacle. We'll get pentacle twice from this, so it's fine. Pentacle makes it so we're not feeling too bad if that happens. Okay, now we've grown our pattern multiplier because the cross is right side up. Very big deal. So grab the super capacitor here, and we'll keep rolling the shop in case there's anything that we can't live without. That's pretty good. We're not going to be able to afford it though. It's not worth burning my house down over it. Now this crystal sphere is another story. This is something that you might burn your house down for. I think in our current situation we'll probably skip it, but it's really good. What we really want to see right now is actually charm space. Now that I'm thinking about it, that potato battery that I just rolled over is also phenomenal. Alright, we'll just go ahead and do the same thing again. Super capacitor is really good here. Gave us another diamond button. We'll take the pentacle scaling from those cherries, and then we'll take the symbols growth and the pentacle scaling from these diamonds. And now the score is going to start to get pretty disgusting, my friends. And as you can see, because of super capacitor, we actually got an extra trigger of manifestation chance for the diamonds. So this is going to start to take off pretty quickly here. Here's a cardboard house. We'll go ahead and grab that, and we'll move on to the next round with extra charm space. Once again, same thing. We're not interested. Now, what do we have at the phone? Lucky Charms being discounted is probably the play here. We don't really need Gambler. We're not playing Clovers and Bells. So what do we want to see in here? Crystal Sphere is what we want to see. So we'll go ahead and pull for 2 tickets. You notice the charging from the capacitor here. Fully charged. Slam the button. We go ahead and pull. HAMSA plus Shiny Rock gives us Pentacle. Pull again. HAMSA plus Ancient Coin gives us our diamonds. Good enough for our Pentacle, good enough for our scaling. So we'll go ahead and discount the charms in the store here, grab the crystal sphere, and keep rolling. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we just need more tickets, right? We're not worried about anything else at the moment. So once again, the capacitor will fully charge all of these. Just like that. Slam the button. There goes Pentacle. And we get our diamond scaling. Sadly, no chain in the diamonds. Kind of unlikely that that would be the case, but so be it. And so now we have 12 mult, 250 on the diamonds. We're scaling our pattern multi with the cross pretty quickly because of the capacitor. And we're in a good spot, so we'll just keep seeing what's in the shop. So we did find a potato battery. A potato battery is very interesting here. Potato battery changes everything, actually. I think what we're going to do is we're going to sell this red shiny rock and grab the potato battery. And we're going to change our play style here a little bit. We're going to shift over to 7 spins. Okay. And what we're going to start doing now is pressing the button early. We're going to hope that we don't score, right? We actually don't want to score. I mean, if we score, we score. So be it. But we would like to not score. Okay. Nothing? Okay, unfortunately we scored twice, so the whole strategy here didn't really work. There's the 666. But it was too late. It needed to come earlier. But that's okay. We're going to continue on with this line of play. At some point, we may actually sell HAMSA here. We'll see how it goes. Yeah, we're going to sell HAMSA for ring belt. And we go on to the next round. So guys, because we hit a 666 in the last round, this is going to be an evil phone call. You can use evil phone calls to do all kinds of interesting things. One of them is to have symbols. We're just going to leave this phone call for the time being. Our charms are pretty stacked, so we might actually just go try to re-roll that, which is, I think, what we're going to do. So again, we've changed our idea on how we're playing here. We're going to go early and hope to not score, which isn't working out. I'm rethinking my strategic decision here. I think we're going to go back to pulling at the end. Or possibly use cat food or something, I don't know. But this isn't working, unfortunately. Weird clock is good. We're gonna buy the weird clock. Little pull, super capacitor will go off once. Pull again, it'll go off twice because the cross is charged. And that'll charge up these, and now we're going to slam the button. Okay, good enough. Good enough. So we'll put the potato battery in a drawer. We'll equip the weird clock. We'll go for a long pull here to get the most charging possible. Then we'll just slam, and I don't have the potato battery, so it's not going to recharge right now, but, well, that's pretty good. So we did get some chain here. And now we're into the millions pretty comfortably. And yeah, this is a good build. You know, you have scaling on the bottom side all the way through the patterns. You have scaling on symbols multi, and you have scaling on the diamond. So at this point, if you have this much and all you want to do is unlock all of your drawers, this is what you would want to do, guys. You'd want to come in here, and now you're going to want to start taking these deals so that you can get memory packs. Memory packs are required to 100% the game. You have to get them rainbow, and the way you do that is by completing it on normal and then completing it on hard mode. Hard mode means the deadlines will be twice as large. Okay guys, so that will be enough right there to unlock your fourth drawer. So this kind of build will work easily to getting all of your drawers unlocked. And just like that, you'll have all these memory cards to go play your game with, and you'll have your drawers unlocked. And then you'll be a happy camper getting ready to prepare yourself to actually leave the cell. If you're curious about that, tune in for the next one and we'll go through that. But for now, you've seen the synergy between HAMSA, Ancient Coin, and Shiny Crystal. And you've also seen some interesting play between items like the Super Capacitor and those kinds of charms. So I hope this gives you some ideas on how you can get to scaling your symbols multiplier, your patterns, and your patterns multiplier to produce big scores, getting a lot of jackpots with these kinds of charms, scaling all of your base symbols for big multipliers. So without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, that's going to be it for the video. Thank you so much for watching. Tune in next time and we'll go through another strategy on how you can play CLOVERPIT and get the most out of your runs. Take care. Bye-bye.